Hello, Culture Matters podcast. We are back again with another culture topic. Follow me, Doran _ the Culture Man on Instagram for culture topics. Today's topic, we're elaborating on the secret to business success, which is understanding your clients on Instagram. We post videos 1 to 3 minutes long, maybe a little less, maybe a little more on various topics around business, life, culture. And today I'm going to elaborate on one of them, which is the secret to business success. Understanding your clients is a secret to business success. Now, that should not be a secret because according to Drucker, the purpose of a business is to create a customer. So why should this be a topic even to discuss, talking about understanding one's clients or understanding one's customers? I think the reason it's a valuable reminder is because we can lose sight of why we're in business in the first place, to solve customers. We can lose sight of, especially these days, that with the emphasis on employee engagement, the emphasis on culture in the workplace, the emphasis on the well-being of our people. We could easily overemphasize the well-being of our people, ironically undermining the well-being of our people because we forget about our customer. Because when the customer suffers, no matter what initiatives we bring in a company, no matter what we do for our employees, benefits, rituals, inspiring speeches, clarified values, systems of education and excitement, if the customers are not getting value, if we're forgetting about the customers, thinking we're actually not, our employees are going to suffer. I think culture is a consequence of customer service. So if we're going to talk about understanding clients, that's going to come down to the knowledge we have of our customers. Who are they? What are they looking for? What motivates them? And of course, so there's the actual customers, and then there's the subject matter at hand. What do they need that they don't even know they need? Now, I'm going to be specific about this topic as far as a service-based business, and I'll do another on more broad product-based businesses. But think about a service-based business. We're going to be building relationships with people that are being served by us. It's vital that we understand the people that we're actually working with. That comes down to getting to know people, spending time with them, but not just spending time with them, investing in quality time. And that's going to come down to the presence, to our presence, to our purposes. I don't think that can be faked for long. If we don't actually care about our customers, it's going to be hard to fake that for long periods of time. It's going to be revealed that we don't actually care about them as human beings and about their needs and about the problems that they face. It takes character to persevere in times of crisis and adversity with those that we serve, with our customers. It takes character to choose the harder path, the path with more resistance, the path of more trials and tribulations, which is sometimes that means we're going to invest into our customers and not see a return for some time because we're betting on the long-term benefit of that relationship. We're not going to be able to do that, have the fortitude to show up and convince the people around us that work for and with us for the long-term benefit of suffering for a little while, for the long-term pleasure that could come with that, if we don't actually believe it, if we don't have skin in the game. And what's the value in even understanding our clients and having depth or relationships of depth with our customers? The value in that is there's going to be more to do with them. There's going to be more problems to solve. Their success leads to our success if we can continue to innovate and evolve to fulfill upon their problems and solve to their problems. We're going to grow together. truly understanding our clients is the foundation for long-lasting business success because second sale, third sale, fourth sale, fifth sale, there's a, using common sense, there's going to be a greater margin of profit with a longer lasting relationship is if we're running an efficient ship, we're being, we're self-aware enough and working with our team in an efficient manner, we're paying attention. It's as simple as whatever ad dollars were spent to get that original customer, it's going to be less costly and therefore potentially a higher profit margin on second sale, third sale, fourth sale, fifth sale. Simply put, long-term relationships with customers is more profitable. Now, there might be seasons where we're losing, but if we're gaining goodwill, it's eventually going to show up on the balance sheet. We're investing into a relationship, it's eventually going to show up on the balance sheet because we understand our clients. We understand, and that's where I want to talk about some of the tactical ways to understand clients. So number one is it's the volume of questions and the quality of the questions. Now, the quality of the question is going to be actually based on our competence, not just about what it is that we do and the experience that we have over time, over time, having done something for months, years, decades, but also the time that we leverage by surrounding ourselves with the great people. That's part of the value in having talented, experienced, wise people. But the volume of questions, it takes presence to ask questions that are not, like think of a question that you ask that you already know the answer to. You're trying to lead someone to an outcome. That falls into like lower resolution sales. Maybe and that can be in the short term valuable to help decision making happen, but in the long term, I think a more sophisticated salesperson is evolved or graduated beyond the contrived questions they believe they know the answers to, and is more so able to inculcate themselves in a conversation with a prospect to and dance with them in that very nuanced, thoughtful, present conversation to figure out what their problems are and how they can be solved, and just tell the truth and let the sale take care of itself. But the volume of questions is going to have a relationship with the presence. When I say present, I don't just mean physical presence, but intention, like intent, the focus, the determination, the drive to understand, the openness of curiosity, the ability to be curious, like genuinely curious, or the capacity to be genuinely curious, I think has a relationship with how we're actually living, with the agenda of the relationship. I have to ask myself, am I working towards the best interest of this person? And you have to follow your conscience as it relates to that. So the volume of questions is going to be based on your intention, your purpose, your presence, your openness, your curiosity, how well you listen. Because you can't ask too many questions if your ability to let your counterpart speak is less than satisfactory. They're not going to be open to answering your questions if you interrupt or over interrupt. It's going to turn into an interrogation. Or are you asking questions and then not letting them fully get their answers out and asking the next question? So having that focus and, well, originally the intention, the purpose, the openness, the focus, and the determination to understand. Now, the quality of questions is going to be based on two things. One is the obvious, your understanding of the subject matter, how well you know what it is that you do, what do you know about what they do, and that is going to come from experience and in addition to research. Research can hack experience. If you have a limited experience in a field, the more research you do, the better questions you ask as a layperson. And you're borrowing your general experience in whatever subject matter you're expert in to compensate for that. You'd be surprised how unique and how differentiated you'll be just by leaning into questions based on research, because you're borrowing the tenure that you have in your field of expertise. Even if you don't have expertise in their industry specifically, doing that research, spending that extra time. So understanding clients is also the time invested in researching their business, their industry, what they have going on from an industry standpoint, from a company standpoint, is going to impact the quality of questions. It's also doing your research on them. That's as simple as a Wikipedia, a LinkedIn, a Facebook search, and doing what I call a culture map, breaking down, you know, origin or current physical location, schooling, what was studied, what years, how old, how long, what companies, how many companies, how long, what roles, what tenure, what upward mobility, how large is the company, how many employees, just continuing to understand the actual person. So that because the person's autobiography or biography rather, the company, the industry, your experience, the wisdom you've gained from your character meeting adversity in the throes of being in business, all compounds to help understand the problems seen and unseen that a customer is facing, the ones they're aware of and the ones they're not aware of, and everything in between. So the volume of questions, the quality of questions, our character as service providers influences these two variables: quality of questions, quantity of questions. It's influenced by our values. If we don't value service, opt out of service business. But it's a hack that to be able to build long-term relationships, that leads to doing more business with a customer. It also leads to higher volume of referrals and higher quality of referrals if you so choose to pursue that. All of these things increase margin of profit if a successful operation is run both effectively and efficiently. Now, this is the caveat. Education, it's based on education, experience, and passion, is what I wrote here. The relationship with your content, what it is you know, is based on your education, formal and informal, experience. What have you been through? Who have you worked with? How did that transpire? How did it turn out? What did your wins look like? How did you reflect on them? What did your losses look like? How did you learn from them and reflect on them? So I have here quality of questions. You'll go deeper, the better prepared you are. So the customer, you got to do your culture map on them, their company, the industry, regardless of your expertise in it or tenure in it. And of course, your own subject matter. Your experience, your wisdom is going to be like interwoven into that preparation of them, their organization, their industry. And it's going to explode in your brain all the possibilities of where they're at in their business. And when you meet with them one-on-one, listen, don't interrupt. Ask questions based on what you're hearing and thinking. Follow your curiosity. The work of the script is done in the preparation. I'm sorry, throw it in the garbage and just show up and be present with a purpose to serve. If you've done your preparation, the script is 1,000 questions in your brain. Now, from that, you'll see so many patterns and variables that you'll be able to make a script for a layperson. It's a start, but maybe they're fielding appointments. They're not upselling a customer that's been given your word and you fulfilled upon your word. One sale is one thing, transactional, transient. It's not based on reality. It's based on a projection of reality. Like, I believe this person's going to do it, so I'm going to pay them up front. You're hired. All right, you made the sale. Now you've got to fulfill. Upselling is based on second sale, which is fulfillment, integrity, culture, the outcome. Did it get done? What quality was it? Was it quality work? If they paid $1 million, did they get 10 million in value? If they bought the widget for $1, did it solve a problem that was worth $100? Value is that equitable exchange of money and then outcome worth more than money. In closing, understanding clients is a superpower in business, whether it's a widget factory or it's a professional service firm like Culture Matters is. The customers matter because the culture is a consequence of the customer service. Everything manifests from that. The stories, the language, the symbolism, the rituals manifest from this genuine relationship of an individual representing position of authority, influence, and power as it relates to the customer's perceived and actual problems, their capital translating from their being, their ownership to the organizations, with the caveat that the organization is going to provide value, product or service, or an admixture of both to compensate for the loss of that capital. They're going to gain value. They're going to gain an outcome at greater value, economic value than the money. So follow me on Doran _ the Culture Man on Instagram. Please leave us a review on the Culture Matters podcast, and we will see you next time on another culture topic on the Culture Matters podcast.